Welcome to Cashman's Garage. I'm Justin, and today we're going to be working on this 1987 Corvette again. This thing has been leaking some water inside, so we're going to be doing the door sills and the weather stripping. Should be a whole lot of fun. Let's get started. Look at all that foam. So, I just opened up the boxes and we got all of our pieces here, nice and labeled and ready to rock. Now, I'll be honest, this is the first time tackling a oddball project like this, but man, if you come over here and look at these, you can see why. You don't want to leave a Corvette like this. Let's pretty her up. So the first thing that we're going to do here is pull this door panel off. As you can see, I already got started. It's basically just a lot of trim panel screws. We got one up here, one here, one in the center. We got two down here that can't really see very well, but don't forget those. Then we come along the side. We had one here that somebody over tightened at some point, and then a bunch that just run right down here. Now I'm not 100% sure if this is stock, but this is what I was brought. So then you got four more screws on our speaker cover here. Once that's all off, this little guy just pulls off, and then you give this little thing a tug, and now your panel is off. And once you got your panel off, there's a couple electrical connectors that you can disconnect to give yourself a little more room here. This guy obviously plugged in this guy up here. This guy plugged in down here. And yeah, that's where we're at. Next step, looks like we got a bunch of little bolts and screws that go along the edge here, and that should get all of our weather stripping that, as you can see here, is in really rough shape. So I got our old weather stripping off. It's pretty straightforward. Bolt here, little bolt here, a couple more up here. I already started putting the new stuff in. But you take out those four, they're 9/16, and then the rest just pulls off. Now what you should notice is all these little yellow guys. Really obnoxious, but we're going to have to pop those out. And the reason is, we got new ones. So we'll just pop these in to the old holes that are left by these clips. So I'm going to get that knocked out. So far, so good. All of our weather stripping is back in here now. Pushed in rather easily. You just do it rivet by rivet. One thing to take note for these little door sill, window sill guys that we got here, they were a little tough. So the trick is you undo these two guys. That's going to give you enough room to move your window itself back towards the door here. And then, yeah, it's just a matter of yanking this thing out. Once you got the old one out, you got to push forward and round it in at the same time. You go through, and look at that. She is beautiful. Let's put this door back together. All right, almost forgot our interior windowsill. Now this one's extra obnoxious because we got to deal with here our staples. So I'm gonna have to peel these guys out, hopefully yank this whole thing off, and it looks like that's how they expect us to attach this last piece. They have one little screw hole here, but it looks like our original screw that was in this guy. Sorry if it's not super clear, but the head is broken off, so we're just gonna have to staple the rest of this thing back together. Let's give it a shot. All right, our door is back together and looking good. Beats that last stuff. This should hold some water. So now we're going to do the same thing to the other side, and then we're going to come back around and we're going to do this guy here, and we're going to come up around the windshield. All this stuff has got to go. Let's continue on. All right, so now we're going to do the next step, which is this piece right here. Is also very nasty, but not much holding it in. Looks like just a rivet here, rivet on the other side, and I think this just gets stuffed in. Maybe we add a little bit of glue. So I'm going to rip this baby out, and we'll see how she goes. All right, so this is not going quite as easy as I expected. This stuff was glued in 30 years ago and really does not want to come out. So might be cleaning this thing up for a while. Yeah, if anybody knows any tricks to doing this, like I said, not exactly my forte, so feel free to leave a comment and school me. All right, so now we're working on this front section here. Still cleaning it up. I'm still working on cleaning up this back. I'm going to buy some lacquer thinner and some weather strip glue tomorrow, and we'll continue on. But I want you to take note. This stuff really sucks, and, you know, if you can get it off clean, you're in much better shape. But it can be a little time-consuming. But if you go really slow and you catch a nice clean section, you can get a lot of this up clean. Now, this isn't a great example because I'm leaving some glue up there. But again, you can see how much is actually coming down. And the more you get out, the less you're going to have to clean up later. But you see there how it's all pulling down. And that is good for me. And we continue on. So, after a lot of cleaning and a lot of 3M specialty adhesive remover, 38987, we're actually making some progress here. I took a little scuff pad, got all of our old weather stripping out. Now I got to kind of go in, fill some of these little scratches with a little bit of paint. And I still am going to have to tape all this up too and paint this. But we're making some progress. Once it's all painted, we're going to glue it, put it all back together, and then work on the roof. Wow, that was a lot of work. Okay, so we cleaned up just about all the stuff that we could get out of here, other than a little bit of paint that was still sticking. We're going to leave that, and we're going to do some painting. Once that paint is in there, we're going to let it dry for a little bit, throw some glue down, get some weather stripping in. But a lot of prep work. So far, this is coming along really well. As you can see, I started to spread some of this weather strip adhesive, which you definitely want to use weather strip adhesive. Regular silicone's not going to be sticky enough. Make sure you've got a nice clean surface, blow it off with an air gun if you got one, and then you're going to stuff this stuff in there. And what I found the easiest way is, you see this big lip here? That big lip we're going to stuff under this small lip here. And then you kind of just shimmy it all back in, and then you got a push rivet on the bottom, which, sorry about the lighting, but as you can see, it's coming along very well. Looks very nice, and should hold water unlike the last stuff. Let's continue on. Now that was a lot of fun. Took me about 9 hours with all the prep work, but everything is glued and set and looking good. Back to factory, baby. So I just want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to my nephew Cole, totally helping me out here. He definitely inspired me to do a lot of these videos. Check him out. He's a big Fortnite player. You might see us playing together. His channel is CG. And a shout out to all my friends and family and everybody that's like supporting me on this. I'm having a whole lot of fun, and there's going to be a lot more videos yet to come. Tomorrow, I think we're going to be lifting this baby up, and we're going to get underneath it, and we're going to do some fluids, and yeah, and really get underneath it and check everything out. So stay tuned for the next one, and we'll catch you later.